Dear viewers, greetings. In our last video, we discussed the signs that it's time to leave a toxic relationship. Today I would like to draw your attention to how to improve your relationships. I'd like to share with you 10 daily habits that can help you improve your relationships and create stronger connections with others. The quality of our relationships is determined by our ability to control our emotions and accept things as they are. These habits are based on the philosophy of Stoicism and will help you develop peace, understanding, and harmony in your relationships. 1. Practice compassion, and you will find that your heart can share the burdens of others and be a source of relief. This wise statement by Epictetus leads us to understand the importance of showing compassion in our lives. The ability to show compassion helps us not only support and understand other people, but also build deep and emotional connections with them. Compassion is the ability to feel someone else's pain and suffering, understand it, and want to alleviate it. Compassion is based on deep respect and love for others, and the recognition that all people are part of the same human family. When we practice compassion, we move beyond our own self and become open and sensitive to the needs of others. Showing compassion has many practical implications. This could be as simple as offering words of encouragement and empathy, helping to solve problems, providing practical help, or even just being present and listening. Compassion also involves mindfulness, the ability to engage with others' emotions and experiences, and the ability to let go of one's own biases and judgments. When we practice compassion, we become more understanding and more deeply connected to others. We begin to see their destiny and history, and this helps us create deeper and better relationships. Compassion also helps us expand our boundaries and look beyond our own interests to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Showing compassion can also lead to improvements in our own well-being and lives. Research shows that people who practice compassion experience improvements in their physical and mental health. The ability to understand and support other people helps us better cope with our own difficulties and problems. Thus, showing compassion plays an important role in our lives. It helps us build deep and emotional connections with other people, allowing us to understand and support them in difficult moments. Practicing compassion means being open and sensitive to the needs of others, and this not only brings us joy and well-being, but also helps us become better versions of ourselves. 2. I look at life without emotions, without prejudices and expectations. I'm a Stoic. Year after year, day after day, I accept all the events that life throws at me. Without replaying the past over and over again, without dreaming about the future, I live here and now, following the path that has opened before me. According to Marcus Aurelius, accepting that not everything is in our control helps us free ourselves from frustration and anger. Life is full of surprises, and we cannot control every aspect of it. But we can control our reactions to these events. If we accept things as they are without resistance, we keep our relationships with others free of negativity. Acceptance is the key to harmony with the world and with yourself. I'm not trying to change what can't be changed. I accept and enjoy the advantages and disadvantages, challenges and successes, because all this makes me stronger and smarter. I accept and acknowledge that everything happens for a reason, and some things are beyond my understanding and influence. Instead of depending on things dependent on other people or circumstances, I look within myself and find true happiness and wisdom. The desire for control creates suffering, but acceptance liberates. This allows me to be free from external factors that can cause frustration and anger. Believing in acceptance means recognizing that I have a choice. The choice to accept the world around me as it is and learn to appreciate its inner essence and beauty. This does not mean that I should be passive and indifferent to what is happening. Acceptance is the awareness and wisdom that allows me to accept and overcome any difficulties and change what I have the power to change. As a Stoic, I recognize that the world is constantly changing, and I must change with it. Acceptance helps me adapt and grow without being tied to past expectations or future hopes. I live here and now, and I already have everything I need. This frees me from the desire for property and imposing my will. I follow the path that boldly opens up to me, fully accepting it and all that it can bring. I keep my relationships free of negativity because I accept that some things are not controllable. I accept, I rejoice, and I live. 3. Showing gratitude is an integral part of Stoic philosophy. As Seneca said, "When we give thanks, we return to the living source of all goodness." These words fully capture the essence of gratitude, which not only allows us to express our gratitude to other people, but also strengthens our relationships with them and brings us our own joy. Gratitude is not just words spoken with a smile. It is a deep and sincere feeling of gratitude that comes from our heart. When we show gratitude, we acknowledge the efforts and kindness of others and the care they have shown us. We recognize that we need other people and that we cannot live in this world alone. Showing gratitude is essential to our psychological and emotional well-being. When we practice gratitude, we experience inner peace and happiness because we realize that our lives are enriched by people who make our lives better. Gratitude helps us appreciate what we have and realize the value of our relationships with other people. Showing gratitude also maintains and strengthens our relationships with others. When our words and actions express gratitude, we create a positive environment based on mutual respect and trust. Appreciation makes our connections with others deeper and more meaningful because it reaffirms that we value them and all they do for us. Finally, showing gratitude brings joy to ourselves. When we express our gratitude, we become more aware and grateful for all the moments of joy and happiness in our lives. Gratitude opens our eyes to the beauty around us and fills our heart with a deep sense of gratitude that permeates our lives. Thus, showing gratitude is an important aspect of our lives. It allows us not only to express our gratitude to other people, but also to create a favorable atmosphere for relationships. Gratitude brings us back to the source of goodness and helps us experience the depth of joy and satisfaction in our lives. So let's remember to show gratitude and appreciate everyone who makes our lives better. 4. Interaction with other people is an integral part of our lives. Every day we are faced with situations where we communicate with colleagues, friends, family, or just strangers. However, how deeply do we delve into their personal lives and affairs? Lack of promptness in this matter can lead to unpleasant consequences, but my long-term observation shows that interfering in the lives of other people is unwise. The great philosopher Epictetus expressed this wise statement: "Do not encroach on someone else's business unless the person seeks your advice." This golden rule of business communication was relevant in his era and remains so to this day. Respecting other people's privacy, decisions, and choices is a core principle that allows us to create healthy boundaries and maintain harmonious relationships. We are all different and have a unique set of values, worldview, and life experiences. Each of us has the right to make our own decisions and choices, and we must respect those prerogatives. When we experience interference or intrusive questions from other people, we intuitively begin to narrow our boundaries, ending up in a state of discomfort. Such situations can create conflicts and disrupt the harmony of our relationships. Our task is to set boundaries in communication with other people. We need to understand that even when we seem to know the best way to handle a situation, not everyone wants our advice or help. Often people are simply looking for understanding and support rather than objective judgment. Respecting other people's privacy helps us maintain harmony in our relationships. When we are respectful of others' personal space and interests, we build trust and strengthen our connection with them. At the same time, we also have the opportunity to conserve our emotional and physical energy without wasting it on unnecessary and annoying situations. Thus, fully understanding and realizing Epictetus's quote is an important aspect of our lives and our relationships. Reasonable and conscious adherence to the principles of respect and non-intrusiveness in communication helps us find balance, maintain harmony, and create healthy boundaries in our relationships with others. 5. A courageous person is a deep connoisseur of his emotions, able to control their course instead of being absorbed by them. This does not mean that such a person does not experience emotions. In fact, he is very aware of their presence in his life. However, instead of allowing his emotions to take over, a courageous person is able to control his reaction to them, which allows him to maintain resilience and equanimity in all areas of life. The ability to self-regulate emotionally is one of the most valuable skills we can learn. This helps us control our reactions to external stimuli and avoid premature and often destructive reactions. The confidence and calm shown by a Stoic allow him to adequately respond to difficult life situations without allowing emotions to completely take over him. It is an integral part of his personality and the source of his strength. Emotional control also serves as a positive factor in communicating with other people. Thanks to the Stoic's ability to control his emotions, he can avoid conflict and remain calm in all situations. No matter what emotions may engulf him inside, he remains calm and reasonable, which helps him find harmony and resolve difficult situations peacefully and diplomatically. The Stoic's resilience stems from his belief that he can control his attitude toward emotions and not allow them to cloud his judgment. Adherence to this philosophy allows the Stoic to maintain a unique balance, which is a powerful source of his emotional resilience. In summary, emotional self-regulation is an integral part of the Stoic path and an important element of masculinity. Awareness and control over one's emotions allows a Stoic to lead a wise and reasonable life, avoiding unnecessary emotional reactions and conflicts with other people. This is a lofty and immutable goal that you should strive to achieve in your personal life. 6. Listening without judgment is an art that every person should develop. According to the Stoics, listening without prejudice is a sign of deep respect for the other person, his opinion and point of view. It helps us feel how important our interlocutor is and gives us the opportunity to understand his real essence. How wonderful it is that nature has endowed us with 2 ears that are capable of perceiving sounds from the world around us. These wonderful hearing organs allow us to enjoy the melodies of music, hear the sounds of nature, and catch the voices of our loved ones. They also give us the opportunity to hear and be aware of other people's words. But, for some reason, we are deprived of the opportunity to use 2 mouths. Zenion, the ancient Stoic, noticed this and emphasized that nature deliberately gave us only 1 mouth. Perhaps this was intended to encourage us not only to listen, but also to remain silent in some cases. Silence radiates power and allows us to delve deeper into the thoughts and feelings of others. It is especially important to listen without judgment when communicating with other people. When we give someone the opportunity to express their ideas, we open the door to mutual understanding and harmonious cooperation. This skill is especially useful in resolving conflicts, when each participant has his own point of view and tries to defend his interests. Listening without judgment helps you approach a problem with an open mind instead of imposing your own solutions. Listening with an open mind requires us to free ourselves from our own expectations and ideas of what should be. It assumes that we are open to new ideas and opportunities, trust the other person, and are ready to accept their opinion as equal. In this state, we are able to hear the deep feelings and motives of our interlocutor, feel his inner world. The practice of listening without judgment is the path to freedom from prejudice and enrichment of our personality. When we learn to listen respectfully and understand others, we become more tolerant and open to a diversity of opinions and life positions. This helps to build harmonious relationships and resolve conflicts based on mutual understanding. So let's try to apply the teachings of the Stoics and develop the skill of listening without judgment. Develop your ability to hear and understand other people, accept their point of view, and create harmony in your relationships. Remember that every person is important and has something of value when they speak. 7. Love. The greatest and most sublime emotion, which is based not only on words, but also on our actions. A well-known quote from Seneca contains words that deeply touch every area of our lives and relationships. He said, "Love is our actions aimed at the benefit of another." These words awakened a deep understanding in the hearts and minds of people, revealing to them the tremendous potential of our ability to show care and kindness. We all want to be loved and feel the warmth and care of others. But the very foundation of love lies not only in the bizarre manifestations of emotions or in the words that we speak. There is no doubt that words can bring joy and tenderness, but they can also bring pain and destruction. Real love actually lies in our actions and the contributions we make to the well-being of others. The key principle of resilience is to take action, not just talk. When we show love and care for others, we demonstrate several important character traits. First, it assumes that we are willing to sacrifice ourselves for the good of another person. This could be little care, gifts, or simply listening and supporting the person. But it can also be a deep and compassionate part of support and emotional support in difficult situations. When we do something for the benefit of others, it not only expresses our sincere intentions and caring, but it also indicates a willingness to open up and be vulnerable. It requires our determination and fortitude to overcome our own selfishness and put the interests and well-being of others first. After all, true love involves giving without expectation of reward or recognition. For centuries, the Stoics understood the meaning and power of these principles and learned to cultivate love in practice. They held the belief that true goodness lay in caring for others rather than in caring for their own needs. This approach allows us to remove ourselves from the spotlight and devote our energy to developing deeper, more meaningful relationships. Of course, words have their power and importance in a love relationship. They can support and encourage us, as well as strengthen our connections with others. But it is our actions that are the key element of love and care that can change our lives and the lives of other people. They can influence our self-esteem, our outlook, and our place in society. Love at its core is more than just emotional confessions or empty promises. Love is our actions dedicated to the good of another person. Showing love and care to others is a fundamental part of our relationships. It must be remembered that our actions and care are always more important than empty words. Taking the path of resilience, opening your heart, caring, and always being ready to take action is the path to true love. 8. Respect for differences. The pleasant life of neighbors requires patience. Epictetus. As a Stoic, I believe that respecting and acknowledging the differences in opinions, values, and life experiences of others is an important aspect of a harmonious relationship. Our world is populated by a huge diversity of people. Each of us is unique, has our own beliefs, habits, and worldview. It is in this diversity that we can find interest and understanding. Similar to Epictetus's statement, I believe that patience is an essential part of life. Our relationships with others may be based on different beliefs, but if we learn to accept differences, we will see how interesting and enriching they can be. Why is respect and acceptance of differences so important? Firstly, they help us develop expand our horizons, and discover new facets of life. When we are open to new ideas and opinions, we can learn new things about ourselves and the world around us. Second, respecting differences allows us to create deep understandings with other people. When we accept and acknowledge other opinions and values, we demonstrate our respect for the individual and their right to freedom of thought. This helps to establish trusting relationships and create a harmonious atmosphere around you. I admit that this is not always easy. We may encounter opinions and values that are contrary to ours, and this can cause unpleasant emotions or even conflicts. However, as a Stoic, I understand that we cannot control what other people think or feel. We can only control our own reactions and our own thoughts. Therefore, I try to remain calm, try to find common ground, and strive for constructive dialogue. Overall, respect and acceptance of differences help us create harmony in relationships. We can learn from each other, support each other, and grow together. By accepting diversity in people's worldviews as the norm, we discover new ways of development and become more flexible and open-minded. Thus, respect and recognition of differences is not only a manifestation of tolerance, but also the key to harmonious relationships. 9. Active participation in the development of relationships is one of the main principles of Stoicism, which I believe is an integral part of my life. The quote from Marcus Aurelius, "To learn to ride a horse, you must ride a horse, and not sit next door and think about it," so clearly describes the importance of actively participating in the development of our relationships. Every day, as I strive for fulfillment and achievement in my life, I understand that only active participation in the development of relationships helps our interactions become deeper and richer. This requires constant work on ourselves and showing interest in the people with whom we communicate. Expressing interest and caring is something that makes us more sensitive and attentive to the needs of other people. As a Stoic, I strive to create deep connections with others, understanding that this helps us grow together, support, and inspire each other. We all know that relationships can be difficult and demanding, but being actively involved in their development is an investment in our happiness and well-being. We must learn to listen, ask questions, show interest, and be ready for help and support. Active participation in developing relationships also requires us to be open and honest. We must be willing to share our thoughts and feelings and be open to receiving and understanding the thoughts and feelings of others. The desire